Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Classical Conversations Faces of History Night. Yay! We are so glad to have such a great turnout and audience to support our students tonight. You are going to be seeing, ages 9 through 12 are going to come up here and do a presentation about the person that they wrote a 5-paragraph research paper about for Faces of History in our Essentials program. And you're going to see their presentation tonight, which is just going to be 2 or 3 minutes, which is really hard when you write a big, long paper and then you have to scale down your facts to a 2 or 3 minute presentation. So this is kind of the second part of their skill, to write the paper and to give the presentation. So you'll see that we'll have lots of different ages and different levels. Some students this will be their third and final time doing a Faces of History night, right? Yay. And for some, it's going to be their very, very first time. So you're going to see we see lots of growth from their first time coming up here and doing a presentation to their last time. And that's really exciting just to kind of see their progress and how they can just develop and hone their skills. So one thing about tonight is, especially afterwards, make sure that you just even pick someone that you don't know and just say something encouraging. That would just be really awesome, because I know all the students are going to do a fabulous job. A little bit of housekeeping tips. If you have to use the restroom, there's normally some behind us, but those are under construction. So you're going to have to go all the way down the hallway, and you're going to have to turn right through the doors there, and then it's just an immediate right is the restrooms. Also, if you could silence your cell phones right now, but feel free to take pictures. I think that's all. So please enjoy our Faces of History, Christy and Meg's excellent adventure.
Ready? Come on, dude. God, get that guy.
Go to the left. Come on.
Don't kill me.
No,
come
move over. You're not on the right spot. Come on.
Come on.
Oh.
Man, our last Essentials paper is due tomorrow.
I know. What are we going to do about that?
I don't know.
Whoa. What is that?
Dude, it says it's a time machine.
What? Let's grab our history books and go check it out.
Okay. Whoa, dude, I wonder how far back it'll go.
Let's see. The dial says 3000 BC.
Spin that thing like a fidget spinner. Ready? Whoa.
Dude, I think we're in like ancient Egypt.
Dude, check out that pyramid.
I've seen all kinds of things, and I have developed a pretty good sense of humor. I mean, there's a dead guy inside of me. I'm the last of the ancient wonders, and I'm getting shorter. That's right. I've shrunk 24 feet since I was built. Old age does that, I guess. Robbers pillaged my treasure. How dare they? Curses on their houses. Khufu was my builder. Kind of a mass murderer, but it resulted in me, so I won't complain. Some people think it was a mystery on how I was built, but it really isn't. It's actually pretty obvious. I was built from bottom to top. Many slaves and workers constructed me over a really long period of time. Nice to meet you all. I'm the Pyramid of Giza.
Dude, those pyramids are sweet. I wonder who lives around here.
I am King Tut, the boy king. I am very important in history and today. my father Amenhotep put down a very strong law that changed history a lot. But I luckily changed that. And that law being that we can and only worship one God of his choice. And that God being Aten, the sun god. But after I was crowned, I finally changed that law back. And people worshiped me for it. But that was a small feat of success, of course. I was given a dagger as a family heirloom that was made of iron. But weirdly, iron was not accessible to my people from normal mining. My ancestors harvested it from a meteorite, and my father told me that it was from a meteorite. I still don't know if that's true, though. I sadly died at the age of 18, but I was also buried with 5,000 items. I was pretty rich for a dead guy. But annoyingly, a fellow by the name of Howard Carter discovered my tomb and robbed me of my riches. And that's when I gave him the curse. But overall, I was a pretty good pharaoh.
Dude, when I was 12, all I did was play Nintendo and eat Oreos.
Yeah. Let's go check out something else.
Okay.
Man, we landed at a library?
But dude, it's a super old library. Let's check it out.
Oh, wait. If you had command over the whole entire city that you reside in, what would you do? Would you be a warmonger and wish for land and power, or would you be a peacemaker and help your people? I am Gilgamesh, the king of Uruk. At first, I enslaved my people and separated them from their families. But with the help of my friend Enkidu, I became kind and started to help my people, and they loved me. You can also see my wisdom before I had met Enkidu, because I had sent a hunter to go find the finest woman in Uruk and bring her to Enkidu to tame him, and it worked. I am also very brave. Me and my friend Enkidu had slaughtered this massive beast that was as tall as the tallest cedar trees that you could find anywhere. My most famous adventure was my journey to the underworld. Sadly, it started when my friend Enkidu died from a terrible sickness. I fought cruel beasts and slaughtered massive scorpions. Unfortunately, when I had acquired a plant that granted immortality, a snake came up and ate the plant while I was sleeping. I mourned for hours until my friend Enkidu sent from the land of the dead, came to me in the form of a bird. And he told me that my immortality lies in my friendship and city, because I wanted to be remembered for generations. And I did not know that I already had infinite life in the hearts of my people.
Dude, that was most excellent.
For real. But we got to keep going.
Yeah, we do.
Whoa! We're on a mountaintop.
Wait, like Pikes Peak?
No, we're on Mount Olympics. Oh, Mount Olympus?
That's it.
Oh.
Yeah. Thanks.
What would you do if your father tried to kill you? That was my experience growing up. I am king of the gods, and I am known as Zeus to the Greeks and Jupiter to the Romans. I'm the youngest son of Kronos and Rhea, and I was hidden away on the island of Crete, and I was raised by nymphs, and I was hiding from my father's wrath. I am muscular and tall and radiantly handsome, and I have a beard as fluffy as clouds. And I am feared and worshipped in temples, and people make sacrifices and bring tributes to me. I had many wives, and one of those wives was Hera, goddess of love and beauty. And I had a 3-headed dog, Cerberus, to challenge future heroes. But that's not all I did. I had many wives because I'm such a Chad. My children were gods, demigods, and terrifying beasts. Hera was jealous of all my relationships with other women. As I had more children, I grew to love them all. And some of those children are Hephaestus, god of smiths and fire. And Athena was my favorite daughter. She's the goddess of wisdom. Apollo is the god of reasoning, and my belligerent son. Artemis wished to never marry, so I made her goddess of the hunt. Hermes is clever and mischievous, and is a messenger among Mount Olympus. I had many children, and these are just a few. They were all talented, and they all caused trouble. I have mighty powers. I can control humans, titans, and gods alike. I influence the sky and thunder because I desire to protect my family and remain in power. I mentioned my father earlier. I was challenged by many, including Kronos, my father. Kronos had eaten almost all of my siblings. I went to go fight my father, and I went and met my brothers, Hades and Poseidon. Kronos was weakened by poison given to him by his wife, Rhea, my mom. He was too weak to defend himself, and I and my brothers took advantage of that. We had arrived to fight Kronos. We battled and battled, and then he spewed out the children he ate. He was so scared of all the gods being there, he fled into Tartarus, never to be seen again. Even though being raised by nymphs is untraditional, I evolved to be a king of the gods. I fiercely ruled with might and power. The most important role of being king of the gods is I kept order and was able to defeat the evil titans who desire destruction. Even though I was faced with vicious battles, I had wayward children and a horrible father, people still loved and worshiped me.
Dude, he has so much power.
Yeah.
Hello, I am Aries, god of war, son of Zeus and Hera. My life as a kid wasn't the best. In fact, it was rather tragic. My parents referred to me as a disobedient, destructive child. I wonder why. When I was born, my parents got me a nanny, one that was strong and patient. She took me to the island of Thrace, where she raised me. There, I learned to walk by smashing flowers and crushing the heads of small animals. When I was young, I threw a rock into the sky. A bird swept down, and the rock hit the bird on the head, killing it. During a war, I didn't care who won or lost. I just enjoyed the battle. My favorite weapons are a sword and a spear. Going into battle, I rode on a chariot, led by 4 fire-breathing horses. Atop my chariot, I would throw a golden apple that would hit the ground and start a war there. During the Trojan War, Aphrodite convinced me to join the side of Troy. Because I grew strong and fast, I was the envy of my fellow siblings. My favorite bird was the vulture, and my favorite reptile was the poisonous snake. And that is me.
Dude, Dude, he's got a lot of power too.
Right? I wonder if there are any speedy gods here.
I am Hermes, god of metals. When I was young, I stole my buffalo's Apollo cows.
Dude, he's cool, but there's so many boy gods here. Oh, look.
I am Artemis. My father is King Zeus, god of sky and lightning. My dearest wish was never to marry and to hunt through the woods. That wish was granted. My mother is Leto, goddess of motherhood, and my twin brother is Apollo, god of sun and music. My great-grandparents are heaven and earth, and you can see I come from a very powerful line. I am often portrayed hunting by the moonlight because I am the goddess of the hunt and the moon. Apollo once challenged me to shoot a speck in the distance. I obviously succeeded, except the speck turned out to be one of my friends, Orion. I was so sad that I killed him. I made him a constellation where he can live on in the night sky. I can talk to and control animals, and I have a golden chariot pulled by a magnificent deer. I love to frolic through the woods with my handmaids, who are nymphs. I am so opposed to the idea of marriage that when one of my nymphs fell in love, I punished her by making the man she loved love his own reflection and stare at it, totally ignoring the nymph by his side. Foolishly, she wasted away with him. Many people have worshipped me, and they even built me a temple in Ephesus. It took 120 years to complete, and it was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. You should rebuild my temple. Until then, content yourselves with worshipping me in sylvan groves and glades.
Dude, did you know there were so many girl gods too?
She was most excellent.
Greetings. My name is Athena. My father was Zeus and my mother is Metis. I am my father's favorite daughter. I am a maiden goddess. I never married. I am the goddess of war, wisdom, and craft. I fought in the Trojan War and inspired the Trojan horse, which won the Greeks' victory. I also helped Odysseus on his journeys. While not in war, I enjoyed craft, especially weaving. Once, a mortal woman boasted that she was a better weaver than I. I punished her by turning her into a spider so she could spend the rest of her life weaving. My one nemesis is Aries, god of war. He's brutal and unjust, while I am just and kind, and the people love me. My greatest achievement was becoming patron of a city-state that both Poseidon and I wanted. Based on the gifts we gave, the citizens would choose their patron. I gave them an olive tree, which provided abundant fruit, wood for fire and building, and oil. On the other hand, Poseidon gave them a well of salty water. Obviously, they chose me. The city-state was named after me, Athens. There's a temple there called the Parthenon, with a statue of myself in it. The statue is 38 feet tall and is made of gold and ivory. Devastatingly, it was destroyed. Though there is a replica of the temple and statue in Nashville, Tennessee. It was a nice thought, though compared to the original, it is not as magnificent.
Dude, maybe we should get her to write our paper.
No way, dude. But you know what I wonder? Wonder if there was anyone who, fought those dudes.
Hello. Thank you. Hello, my name is Odysseus, and I'm here to talk to you about your chariot's extended warranty. But before we get into all of that, I'd like to say a little bit about myself. I was born around, when was it? 1260 to 1160 BC, which is before Christ. I hope you guys know that. I was created by Homer. I am a fictional character, but I don't believe that. I think I'm real. Thank you very much. I was born on the Isle of Ithaca, where I was pretty much crowned king immediately when I was born, because I'm just that great. Thank you. But one day when I was romping through the woods, I found a beautiful woman named Penelope, and I knew I had to have her for my wife. But she was like, no, and I was like, okay, and then I was like, please, and she was like, okay, fine. So I made us a bed out of an olive tree so I could never be moved. And once I did that, we were totally in love. It was great. Made a house for us and stuff. And then I went to Troy for like 10 years, fought, and then I made a Trojan horse with respect of the beautiful goddess Athena. Thank you. And after that, it took me 10 years to get back home. And in those 10 years, I found many beautiful women, such as Circe, and a lot of other ones, which I forget the names of. But my wife stayed faithful over all those years, unlike me. But when I did finally return home, there were over 100 suitors trying to get her hand. And I obviously slaughtered them all in cold blood like you do, just on the regular. And then we lived happily ever after. I'm just kidding, I got killed by my son. All right, that's all from me. Have a good night.
Dude, these are all super sweet, gnarly stories. But are there any real people in history?
Dude, I don't know. Let's go find out. Dude, she looks like a queen.
Ooh, who is she?
I, Esther, saved my people's lives when they were endangered. My cousin Mordecai helped me to be brave. Mordecai raised me since I was very young, when my parents died. But he couldn't do anything when I got captured and taken to the palace for the beauty pageant that the king made, when the queen was sent away because she didn't do what she was told to do. So I was forced by the guards to get beauty treatments, and I won because I was so beautiful. Mordecai would not bow to the king's assistant, Haman. Haman wanted Mordecai and his people dead because of that. So Haman lied to the king, and the king made a law that all the Jews would die on, in 2 weeks. When Mordecai heard about this, he persuaded me to ask the king to change the law. So I asked the king and his assistant Haman to a banquet, but I was too scared to ask. So I asked them to another banquet, and on that banquet, I asked them to change the law, and he changed the law to that the Jews could protect themselves. I have ruled for 14 years after that. The Jews remember me as a hero.
Dude, I want to be just like her when I grow up.
Yeah, but get her autograph later, man. We gotta hurry up.
Whoa, dude.
Whoa! We're in ancient Greece.
This is most excellent.
Just so you know, this is my mom's idea. And I just start off.
Yeah, go ahead.
My name or
Yeah?
I am Hippocrates. I will use my power to help the sick to the best of my ability and judgment. I will abstain from harming or wronging any man by it. This is a portion of the Hippocratic Oath that was based on my teachings and philosophies. My name is Hippocrates. I am known as the father of modern medicine. I was born around 460 BC on the island of Kos, near Greece. I studied medicine as an apprentice to my father and grandfather. As a young boy, I liked to watch butchers at the market as they dismembered animals. It was the only way I could study anatomy since dissecting humans was illegal. I rejected the beliefs of the day that the gods were responsible for illnesses and looked for natural causes to disease and sickness. I treated the body as a whole and connected being, spending much time questioning my patients and examining their bodies and writing notes. I believe that proper nutrition and exercise was necessary for good health. I died somewhere between 380 and 370 BC in Larissa, Greece. After many years after my death, my writings and teachings were compiled into what is known as the Hippocratic Corpus. These methods have set the standards for much of the modern medicine. Most doctors, upon graduating medical school, say a form of the Hippocratic Oath. You will find statues and sculptures of me at many modern medical schools. Today, if you visit Kos, you will find an oriental plane bearing my name, or oriental plane tree bearing my name. I used to teach my students under such tree. Many cuttings and seeds have been gifted to medical schools around the world.
Dude, I am totally calling that guy the next time I get sick.
Yeah, dude, that Hippocrates dude, he's wicked smart.
My name is Alexander III of Madison, known around the world as Alexander the Great. I have conquered many countries like Rome, Babylon, and more. I was born to my dad, King Philip II, and my mom, Queen Olympias. Speaking of my dear mother, she was an extremely important part of my life as she secured my spot on the throne and even fought for my son's honor once I died. When I was 20 years old, my father sadly passed away. I quickly fought to secure a family name and legacy. I had a horse named Bicubus, and when it died in war against Babylon, I decided to name a country after him. You can read about him in many history books, and you will know exactly how much he meant to me. Before I named a country after my horse, I named a country after me. In fact, I named 70 cities after me. I had a beautiful wife named Roxanne. I fought my first war when I was 16 years old. I died in 323 BC by food poisoning, and I was 32 years old when I died. I won my first war by leading my father's troops against Macy's. As a kid, I learned to fight lions and wrestle. When I was just 13 years old, I had the greatest teacher in the land. He was a dear mentor of mine. You may remember the name as Aristotle. One time, I led 44,000 men to defeat the Persians. Ultimately, my fearless lifestyle soon came to an end. Some historians say I died of malaria or other natural causes. Others say I was poisoned. Either way, I'm glad to say I lived a life that many men that they could write in movies and books about. I will forever be Alexander the Great.
Dude!
That was awesome.
There's a big section on Greece in our history book, but there's also a lot of pages about ancient Rome.
Dude, let's go there then.
All right. Whoa! Ancient Rome looks sweet!
And dude, I'm hungry. Do you think I could find some spaghetti around here?
Maybe you could ask him.
In case you were wondering, my name is Julius Caesar. I was a man of many talents and I fought many wars. As a kid, I was taught to fight and defend my land. I fought like all Romans with a long spear, short sword, and a shield. As I grew, I became more and more powerful and soon became the leader of Rome. Around 100 BC, I was born with an exciting but privileged childhood. Like all Romans, I was given 3 names at birth. My name was Gaius Julius Caesar. I was known for my bravery in battle, and I risked my life to save another's, which meant I was awarded the Corona Civica, or civic crown. When someone with a civic crown walked into a room, everyone would stand to pay their respects. I was one of the best fighters Rome has ever seen, and I was also a great leader. Rome also had its own water systems, including fresh water and plumbing. I created these systems, of course. I made fountains and public bathhouses. All the people loved these inventions, and most loved me. I was one of the greatest leaders Rome has ever seen, but sadly, I passed away to an assassination by my own people in 44 BC. As I mentioned, I was a great leader for Rome. I led and grew the people of Rome, and I doubled the size of Rome in my lifetime. I conquered places like Gaul, which is the size of many places today. And did you know that I had things like salads, calendars, and even massive hotels that were named after me? Rome loved and cherished me and thought I was the greatest leader they have ever seen.
Dude, he was awesome, but now I'm craving a Caesar salad.
Oh. Hey, dude, who's that? Why is she dressed like an Egyptian, but she's here in Rome?
I am Cleopatra Ptolemy. I was born in Alexandria, Egypt in 69 BC. Though I was born Egyptian, my family and I are Greek. I was born royal and my family and I ruled Egypt for 300 years. I was one of 5 siblings, 3 girls and 2 boys. I had a royal education, and I even got to study at the legendary Library of Alexandria. Oh, I wish you could see it. I learned the classics like Odysseus and the Iliad, and I learned 9 languages. And I was the only one in my entire family to learn Egyptian. When I was 11 years old, my father was exiled, and I went into hiding with him. This is just one of the many plots, fights, and even wars within my family. My older sister Bernice took the throne after my father was exiled. 3 years later, we returned back, and horrifyingly, my father accused Bernice of treason and had her beheaded. When I was 18 years old, my father died and I became pharaoh. But in ancient Egypt, women could not rule alone. So I had to marry my 10-year-old brother. Does anyone know a counselor? But if I do say so myself, I was a very good pharaoh. I was ambitious and clever, and it helped me throughout my entire life. And the people loved me, and they even considered me a goddess as the daughter of Ra, the god of life and creation. And I was very resourceful, too. I created friendships and even relationships with Roman emperors and officials. I protected ancient Egypt from Romans for over 20 years. And a clever story is I wanted an audience with Julius Caesar, but I could not get into the castle because I was not allowed to. So I had one of my servants tuck me into a carpet and carry me into the castle where I could talk to Julius Caesar. And this is one of the examples of my cleverness. But my story comes to a tragic ending. In a Shakespearean twist, Mark Antony, my relationship at the time, heard a false rumor that I was dead, and he stabbed himself. My younger brother stole my throne, and after this, I lost my will to live. And I killed myself with an asp, a very poisonous snake. I died with my crown on my head and my flail and rod in my arms. But 2,000 years later, my cunning, beauty, and bravery will inspire people today.
Dude, she was super cool, like an early world traveler.
Yeah. But whoa, who is that?
Dude, I don't know. Let's just stay out of his way.
I've been fighting for Emperor Tiberius for 18 years now. I don't really like my new assignment here in Jerusalem, and even though I've been promoted to a centurion in command of 100 legionaries, which is about 100 soldiers. My father was also a legionary, except he pledged his allegiance and fought under Emperor Augustus. Unfortunately, Emperor Augustus decided it'd be better for Rome if their military contract lasted 25 years instead of just 10. That means I have 6 years left of service before I receive a plot of land or a chunk of money for my service. I will also be able to search for a wife and start a family. My rigorous 4 months of training seems like a distant memory, where so many battles have been fought and many miles have been marched over the past 18 years. All those years of service seem so meaningless after the week I had just had. The year is 8033, and that year will always be in my memory forever. At the beginning of the week, I was commanded to take all of my men with 5 other fellow centurions. We took about 600 men and the entire court of legions and marched into the Garden of Gethsemane in the eastern part of Jerusalem. It seemed very odd to have so many people arrest one peaceful man. But we had all of our orders to arrest Jesus of Nazareth. We arrested him, and he went to trial. I was shocked to learn that the people had demanded he be crucified instead of a well-known criminal named Barabbas. I just couldn't believe it. Again, I had to obey my orders, and we were instructed to crucify this man. I took my centuria and marched Jesus to the palace called a place called Golgotha. All of my fellow soldiers and the crowd were mocking him and making fun of him. As soon as we had crucified him, everything became dark and all across the land. About 3 hours later, we heard Jesus cry out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Some of the men continued to make fun of him and offered him vinegar. Soon after he cried out to God, he died. Immediately there was a large earthquake, and everything was moving, and it was so dark. I was terrified, and so were all of my soldiers. I was so terrified by what was happening that I cried out to all those around me, surely this was the Son of God. I couldn't believe what had just happened, and my life will never be the same. I now am seeking to learn all about what Jesus had done and teached.
Oh, dude. That's amazing that he found Jesus and knew him, but I would not want to get busted by him.
No way. But dude, we are running out of time.
Well, let's spin that dial.
Just get in there. I think we're still in Rome.
Yeah, but it's like 200 years later.
I am Saint Helena of Constantinople. You may have never heard of me before, but I was very important to the Romans. I was born in the year 248 in the small town of Depredum in Asia Minor. I fell in love with Constantius I Chlorus, who was a wealthy Roman general. I was a stablemate, but when I met him, I rose in Roman rank. Then Constantius became the emperor. We had a child named Constantine, and I became mom of the future emperor. Unfortunately, Constantius was forced to marry the daughter of another emperor named Theodora, and he left me and my son Constantine alone. When Constantine grew up, though, he joined the war to fight for the throne, and I was dropped even lower in rank. Then Constantius died. I would not be discouraged, though, because I had become a Christian. When Constantine became emperor, he remembered me and rose me up out of the depths, giving me money and power and calling me Augusta, or mother of the emperor. I used the money to help the poor and to free prisoners. I also built several Roman churches over the Roman god temples and collected Christian relics. The greatest relic I ever found, though, was the true cross of Jesus. In fact, it was so great, many people wrote stories and legends about it. In some, I was a British princess. In others, I walked through the mountains just to talk to Constantine about what was happening in the war. But most of all, I helped to heal people. Once I healed a boy with a crippled arm and a dying woman just by having them touch the pieces of the true cross. I died in the year 328. I was remembered as Constantine's mom, the builder of many beautiful churches, and the finder of the true cross. I am Saint Helena.
Whoa. She is super sweet.
Yeah, dude, I wonder if my mom will become a saint like she did.
I don't know. But man, I think we have time for one more place.
Rockin'.
What? I think we are in ancient China.
Dude, I love me some fried rice.
You are always thinking about food.
Hey, who's that dude? He looks super scary.
Powerful, determined, ruthless. I am the founding father of Mongolia. My name, Genghis Khan. I was born into a Mongol tribe in 1162 and named Temujin. Little did I know my childhood would be faced with many difficulties. At age 9, my father found me a bride. Can you imagine? Thankfully, Borti and I did not get married until I was 16. When my father was poisoned, our clan was banished us into the forest. We survived by hunting, eating sour berries, and making clothes from skins of mice and dogs. One day, my best friend Jamuk and his family mysteriously disappeared. At 13, my half-brother stole my fish, so my younger brother and I killed him. After Borti and I got married, I asked an alliance with my father's blood brother. Tojril accepted. One night, Borti was kidnapped. I was furious. I asked Tojril for help, and we got her back. Years later, my clan and I fought against Jamuka, my childhood best friend. I also had to fight against Tojril, who tried to kill me, but was defeated. 2 years later, I captured Jamuka, but killed him when he refused to bow down to me. All the tribes declared me their leader and gave me the title Genghis Khan. Has a pretty good ring to it, don't you think? I gave my tribe a new name called the Great Mongol Nation. I also made a new set of laws called the Great Law of Genghis Khan. My next goal was to conquer even more territory. First up, the Golden Khan's territory. Launching oil and rocks with catapults and firing bamboo fire lances, I was able to trap the Golden Khan within his own territory where he was captured. While journeying to northern China, I became deathly ill. I died in 1227 at the age of 65. There are many gruesome tales about me. Some were made up by my enemies, but many of them are true. You will not want to mess with me though, for I am Genghis Khan.
Whoa! I would not want to meet that dude in a dark alley.
No way, dude. Not
This
at
is
all.
going to be one righteous paper.
Dude, this has been a most excellent adventure.
Party on, dudes!
Wow, that was so good. Can Congratulations to all of you. You did wonderful. Let's give them all another round of applause. And then special thanks to Mrs. Collins and Mrs. Rogers and Mrs. Stewart. Wonderful acting, ladies. That was awesome. And they all worked on the script. So thank you so much for the props and making this night super special. Students, don't go anywhere right away because we want to do a group picture up here. And after that, just like I said, be sure to congratulate each other and just encourage one another. And thank you so much for spending the evening with us.